Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Annisa Muti'ah, and in this video, I'd like to talk to you about ESP, Need Analysis of Agricultural Engineering Students. Okay, about Need Analysis article, the writer and the published date. The writer is Muhammad Al-Qwardi and Muhammad Al-Fatih. Muhammad Al-Qwardi is English language teacher and ESP practitioner, PhD, student at Faculty of Letters and Human Science in Ibn Zohar University, Agadir, Morocco. And Muhammad Al-Fatih is Associate Professor of Applied Linguistic Faculty, Letters and Human Science, Ibn Zohar University, Agadir, Morocco. International Arab Journal of English for Specific Purpose, Volume 4 and the number 1, 2021. Okay, this study tries to examine the English language needs of engineering students majoring in agricultural studies at the IAV complex Horticulture de Agadir or CHA in Morocco, third semester in the academic year 2018-19. The findings of this study emphasized the importance of English for agricultural engineering students. Besides, the study determined the students' English language needs and they precise their learning preference with regard to ESP course. Okay, now about the research methodology. For the participants, there are 4 participants in this study. The first current students, the second alumni, the third specialty subject teachers, and the last ESP teacher. The first current student, a total of 39 students in the third semester postgraduate of engineering cycle in the academic year 2018 until 2019. The second alumni, a number of 30 graduates who are all working as engineers in different sectors, participate in this study by completing an online questionnaire. They all took the English course when they were studying in the institute. And the third specialty subjects teacher. A total of 13 specialty subject teachers participate in this study by answering a semi-structured questionnaire. They are all teaching currently in IHV CHA. And the last, ESP teacher. The teacher of the current ESP course is a 35 years old male who has been teaching the course for 6 years. The teacher was interviewed using a semi-structured interview. Okay, for the instrument, this study used questionnaires, interview, and outcome placement tests. First, questionnaires were employed to collect data from both the current and former students and also from specialty subject teacher. These questionnaires had questions of different types such as closed-ended, open-ended, multiple choice, and Likert scale items. Second, an interview was conducted with the ESP teacher. And the last, the outcome placement test was used to identify the proficiency level of student. Okay, now about need analysis of agricultural engineering student in IHV complex horticulture de Agadir or CHA in Morocco. Okay, target needs, the first necessities. From the questionnaire table, The student need ESP for their needs in looking for work or job and their future career. The table below indicates that all engineering students believe English is important for their academic studies and future career. The majority of respondents, 91.7%, think it is very important. Okay, the next table, alumni perceive importance of English for students' academic studies and future career. The table shows that all participants agree that English is important for students to continue their academic studies. Around 90% of them claim it is very important. Similarly, the high majority of the participants believe that English is very important for students to succeed in their future job. Okay, the next table about necessities. Subject teachers perceive importance of English for students' study and future career. The table indicates that the respondents believe English is important for agricultural engineering students to carry out their studies and succeed in their future career. In addition, all the specialty subject teachers confirm that they assign materials in English in their classes. Okay, the table English as favorable factor to find a job from specialty subject teacher. It is apparent from the table that a strong majority of specialty subject teachers believe that English is favorable factor for agricultural engineering students to have access to the job market. More than 84% agreed, while only 15.4% disagreed. It is worth mentioning that although a strong majority of specialty subject teachers believe that English is a favorable factor for agricultural engineering students to access job market. Okay, next about student lags. Students preface the table about student perceived proficiency level in the language skill. The table shows that the majority of students report that they are either good or average in almost all the language skills and components. In reading, 94.4% rate their level as very good and non-grade themselves as poor in reading. For listening, 72.2% report that they have a good level. It is worth mentioning that none of the participants report that they are very good in speaking and writing. More than a third, 38.9%, believe they are good and 55.6% state they are average and only 55.6% are poor when it comes to speaking. For writing, 50% report they are good and 47.2% are average. In vocabulary, 50.8% think they are average and 40.7% are good. For grammar, 52.7% of students report they are good and 41.7% rated their grammar as average. Okay, about the student wants. Students' perception of their language need. The table shows that majority of students strongly agree that they want to improve all these areas of language, but with various degrees of importance. It is apparent that improving general vocabulary and speaking and pronunciation seem to be perceived as most important. Improving writing and agricultural vocabulary comes second with 91.1% of participants who strongly agree. Listening and reading ranked at the third place of the language areas that students need to improve. And finally, only 25% of students strongly agreed that their goal is to have a good grade in exams, and 22.27 were not sure, while 16.7% totally disagreed. Okay, now about learning needs. The first about learning activities and teaching method. The table displays the techniques through which students prefer to learn English. It is apparent that group discussion is most preferred technique for most of the students, 24.8%, followed by presentation and projects. And group work is ranked third with a portion of 12.9%, followed by visual aid, 11.9%. Lecturing and questions or answer are the least preferred techniques for learning English, 9.9% and 4% respectively. Okay, for the media, because students want them to learn with presentation, so the media needed are computers and projectors. Okay, now about the findings and result for need analysis. The result of the analysis that I have explained before can be seen in the table. So this is a result of need analysis. These findings can have some pedagogical implication for the ESP programs in the Moroccan engineering school in general and agricultural engineering schools in particular. Okay, let's look at the table. For the necessities, students need ESP for their needs to finding a job in their future career. Then, in addition to finding a job, students need ESP for their speaking skill needs. And the lacks from the table, students perceive proficiency level in the language skill. The lack of students in their English skills is more in speaking then followed by writing. For once, the main thing is that students want to improve their speaking skills and then they also want to improve their writing, followed by vocabulary related to agriculture. Okay, for learning activities, most students have an interest in learning with presentation, and for assignments, for learning activities, most students have an interest in learning with presentation and projects. And for learning needs, the aspects of teaching method, because students want and need to improve their speaking skills, here the teacher will use direct method, where the teacher and student in the learning process will use English from the beginning of the meeting to the end, so that students' speaking skills are increasingly every day. And the last, for media, because students want to learn with presentation, the media needed are computers and projectors. Okay, that is about the result of the need analysis in the journal ESP Needs Analysis of Agricultural Engineering Student. After doing a need analysis, of course, we will make a syllabus based on the result of the need analysis. But before that, let's first look at the student perceived proficiency level chart to determine which level of English skills students have. Okay, the figure present the student's self-assessment of their English language proficiency. The analysis of the results show that the high majority of students, 91.1%, perceive themselves to have an intermediate level of English. About 16% of students think they are upper intermediate, while 30.4% think they are pre-intermediate, and only 8.3% state they are advanced. So we can conclude that the student's language skill level is at the intermediate level. Okay, now about the syllabus. According to Bloom taxonomy, the syllabus in class agricultural engineering student and the level is intermediate. This syllabus for meeting 1 and the objective. Given agricultural vocabulary, students are able to explain English vocabulary in agriculture without errors in pronunciation. The indicators. Students can analyze English vocabulary in agriculture. Students are able to classify English vocabulary in agriculture. And the last, students are able to devise the meaning of English vocabulary in agriculture. For learning material, kinds of English vocabulary in agriculture. Students get an explanation directly from teacher, and then students present the material in front of the class. For media, use computer and projectors because students want to present the material. And for the method, use direct method. And for the activity, for pre-activity, teacher grades, pray, looks at the attendance list, then the teacher directs student to enter the material. And for main activity, teacher gives the material and then student present the types of English vocabulary in agriculture. For assessment, use oral test. And learning sources, use book, journal, and internet. And for the time is 2 by 45 minutes. Okay, that's all about my explanation in ESP, need analysis of agricultural engineering students. Thank you for your nice attention, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.